Hi, everybody. Welcome back once again. It's a Wednesday night. It's hump day. It's time to get serious about all this paranormal. I'm just telling you. I got my fan cooking because it's cooking right here in the studio. So hear that little humming in the background? Well, it's not static. It's not poor production quality. It's just poor ventilation. And I need more because otherwise I'll just turn into a pool of disgusting filth. And that wouldn't be fun for anybody, especially me. I'm here to tell you, I really hate sweaty underwear. There's nothing worse, I don't think. Well, maybe there's worse, but it's pretty bad all the same. So, how you doing, Poncho Zorch, Chucky Danger, Rachel gets it right, Sharon Sunshine, yeah, I was right. John Stevenson is in here as well, and who else? Owl 13's here. Hello, everybody. Good to see you all as I scroll through the list. The Unknown is here. Kitty Cattywhack is here. Good to see you. Amanda's Crazy Life channel is with us as well. Happy Girl One is here. Good to see you. And who else have I not said so far? As I'm going through the roster, looks like I'm getting everybody so far. I think that's everybody I know of that's here. More people I'm sure will be coming in because that's the way it always works here in the portal. Deborah Neighbors just came in. Good to see you, Deborah. Wonderful to have you here. Over on the Rumble, we got the real DB is over there. Big D is over there, as is Barbara Mora. So good to see you guys over on Rumble. Thank you for coming in and checking out the show. Hello to you, real DB. That's a new name. I don't know that name, but it's great to meet you. Thanks for coming in and checking it out. Hi, Cecil Webb Jr. over on YouTube popping in. Good to see you. Eric. Who's Eric? Is that Eric? I'm looking at who did John Stevenson say hello to? Iric. Rachel saying hello to Iric. Oh, there's Iric. There you go. I remember you. Welcome again, brother. Thanks for coming in. I remember because your spelling and pronunciation is so unique. I like that. Hello, Cecil from the deep south. How's everything down there, Cecil? Pretty sweaty too? Or is it just me up here in the north tip of Idaho shedding pounds through liquid excretions? Hi, Cat Doherty. Good to see you. And anybody else that comes in, great to have you all here. Thank you so much for coming in and spending time with us. If you're not a channel member, last night you missed the exclusive. I was going through the unedited, untouched footage from the Ryan Hotel investigation last night. Cecil says it's very hot. I hear you. Hang in there, man. Lots of fluids. That's why God invented air conditioning, I'm thinking. At least all thanks to God anyway. But anyway, last night we did that on the show. It was a lot of fun to go through that footage. Didn't have a big turnout. A lot of you members were kind of, it was later. It was a later stream, and it took extraordinarily long to download from my camera to my computer. I had to wait like an hour and 15 minutes just to get the footage down from the memory card into my computer so I could show it on the screen. And so I apologize for that. I planned on going live much earlier, but it didn't work out that way. However, if you are a member that is live on the channel, no notification again. I don't know why notifications aren't going out. I don't know, maybe they don't go out for member streams. I never thought about that. I should have done a member message. I don't know if notifications work the same for member streams or not. To be honest with you, you'd think I might know that, but I don't, honestly. So at any rate, the video is live. It's there. Well, it's not live. It's available on the live playlist on YouTube. So check it out if you are a member. I appreciate all you members. Thank you so much. And if you're not a member, think about becoming one. I'm working on continuing to develop more content to make that worth people's while. I know it's a big ask, but if you're capable of doing it, I will do my best to make it, a valuable proposition as much as I can. Anyway, Sharon Sunshine didn't get one either. Okay, well, I'm sorry about that, guys. I don't know why that's not going out. I'll have to look into that. I'm always waiting for the member shows and I never get to join. Sorry. I mean, in YouTube's defense, I will say that my planning is really not very good. Like I kind of do it on whims, which is probably a bad plan. And I'll have to work at figuring out an actual member stream night and just put it out there whenever that will be. If I'm going to do that, it'll be on a Tuesday night. It just seems to work out good to give me Sunday and Monday with just focusing on family and trying to catch up on other stuff I didn't get through the week, and then taking Tuesday evening and doing member streams, and then the regular live streams on Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. So I don't know. Let's maybe aim towards that. So next Tuesday night, probably about the same time. I'll just keep it at 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. East, or 10 p.m. Eastern. So if that works out for you guys, plan for it then. I'll notify you guys on social media if that's got to change. It probably is not going to work out every week, just because everything that I schedule in my own life, I try to schedule outside of normal streaming nights. So Monday, Tuesday, Sunday, and Thursdays tend to be those days where I end up putting all the other stuff in my life and trying to squeeze it in. So, Brent, it isn't your fault. Well, thank you, Sharon. You're so nice. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys advocating in my innocence. I need all that I can get. So we got a lot to get through tonight, as usual. We're going to get to the news, which is coming up momentarily here. I got several articles. The top of the week, the Wednesday show, that's just got tons of things that have come out between Saturday and Wednesday night. So I got a lot of articles to pick from. But we'll get into some news here in a minute. Then we'll figure out what the hell else we're doing. And we'll hit the what the hell is that segment for sure. I've got a couple of cool things. And then we'll do the Cryptid Corner to wrap it all up. So I don't know about you, but that sounds like just a festival of fun to me. And I am a little biased, though. It's my show, so of course I'm very proud of it. I hope you guys are too. And remember to keep spreading the word about the Paranormal Portal. We want this to continue to grow and develop and become bigger so that I can do more investigating and bring you guys more entertainment. That's always the end goal. Hopefully I can do that. So, Brent, is the Ghost Radar on? Well, you know what? It actually isn't. And I don't even have it on screen, do I? That was from the member stream last night. I didn't run it last night on the member stream. I probably should have, now that I think about it. Going through that ghost footage just to see what would have popped up on the Ghost Radar. That was not good thinking. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking there. Brent, your show is actually the only show I look forward to. Aw, thank you, Unknown. I appreciate that, man. That means a lot. Thank you so much. All right, let me get the Ghost Radar up here. What is the date? It is the 13th. Let's get it up. The reason I need the date is because it actually catalogs what it finds, and so we actually have an archive of sorts. I've never really looked at the archive of what happened, but I mean, it's not as visual as the live radar, but it's kind of cool that we could look back at a night that we ran the radar and see what happened. Where do I find the membership? Well, it should be right below in the chat. On the bottom of the chat, you see a $sign thing. If you click on that, you can become a member. But, again, it means the world to me, but if it's not possible, I completely understand. Like, I know things are tight for a lot of us, and, myself included. I wish I was rolling in bucks and, didn't need it, but unfortunately, trying to make it work. So if you can, that's great. If not, I completely understand. I'll continue to do all the Wednesday, Friday, Saturday free shows for you, as well as the podcast you can listen to as well. So I'm providing as much free entertainment as I can and also trying to make a living. So I don't know if that makes sense or not, but that's the story in its truth and entirety. Where's the Ghost Radar? There it is. There it is. All right, Rachel, it is now up and live. Thank you. If I can recall correctly, Brent, I did get a notification for the member show from a week or so ago. I found last night's by accident. Wow. That is interesting. I wonder what's different about the notifications for the member shows. I'll have to see if that's the way it should work, or if that's something glitchy, or if I'm missing something. Maybe I'm missing something that I should be doing to make sure you guys get notified. But I'll look into it, guys. We'll try to make it so that you all get notifications, and hopefully all of you will come in and join. I think there was like 6 people last night. It was a very quiet stream. It was still wonderful. I love going through the evidence, and some of the conversation was really fantastic too. But it's always really great when all of you guys are there that can be there, and we can talk about this stuff. But I don't know about you. I'm thinking I got a hankering for some news. I want to bring you up to speed to what the hell's been going on in the world around us. So, are you guys ready? It's time for the news. All right, that's the screen of fun. There's the ghost radar. It's up on this one, isn't it? I wonder why it's not up on this one. Yeah, it is. It is up on that one, but not on the article one. Okay, got it. I got it now. All right, so we got the news, folks. It's time to dive into the news-averse. And I don't even know if that's a word. It is now. It's a news-averse. Hi, Hoop Oracle. Good to see you. Yeah, I'm back. My front, too. See what I did there? Not only my back, but my front. It's funny in my head. That's how broken and stupid I am. Sorry. I get a kick out of myself, even though maybe nobody else does. But let's get to the news and find out just what's going on in the world and see what's interesting and hopefully entertaining. What was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say. You know what? Actually, I wanted to lead off the news with a little different story. Obviously, we'll be visiting unexplained-mysteries.com. That's been just an incredible site, just a fantastic site. I absolutely adore it, and I've never found a news site that does it better than them. So I've been absolutely advocating and promoting that site every chance I get because it's incredible. And so, but not only that, but every site that I utilize on the show, I just want to ask you guys always, over and over and over, and it may be really redundant, but I really believe in this firmly that I want you guys to support these sites. Please visit these sites. Give them your love because they're doing an exceptional job, and I want them to stick around. So your traffic equals revenue. So for these sites to keep going. So please visit them. Please check out all of the many, many other articles. As Dave Scott says, the plethora of articles out there. I don't know if he says articles, but he says plethora. So check out all of the sites, but the first site I want to get to you, bring to you, where the hell is it? Oh, there it is. This is a weird one. I don't know what's going on. I saw it and I just looked at it a little bit and I was like, well, this is interesting. Maybe it's a bigger deal than I'm thinking it's a big deal, but it seems like a big deal. Let's see what it says. Oh God, don't give me a video.
Enjoy this walk through Sasquatch territory.
Let's not enjoy the walk through Sasquatch territory. That's actually a video that I was going to check out on. It's on YouTube. It's from the Wild Assault channel, and it's Sasquatch roadkill ? Giant Bigfoot creature hit by semi-truck at 70 miles per hour. So I don't know. I was going to watch that video, but it is 22 minutes long, and I haven't found a moment to do that yet. But that's what you're hearing in the background. Sorry about that. And then I lost the tab that I was trying to get, which is right there. There it is. Let me shrink it down so I can fit it on the news page and put it up for you guys to see. This is coming from local12.com. I don't know anything about this story that I'm about to read to you, but I guess we'll figure it out together. There is a video as well. It's a 45-second video, but let me read the article first, and then we'll maybe look at the video that's included in the article and see if that maybe makes more sense or the article makes more sense. But here you go. It's local12.com. 12 is a number, 1, 2, not word. So local12.com. It is scientists investigating ghostly signals detected deep below Antarctic ice. Now, I don't think they mean spirits so much as some strange signals that are coming from deep beneath the ice. And I don't know what these are, but let's check out the article. It says, Antarctica, this is a CNN news source, WKRC, scientists are investigating ghostly signals detected below the Antarctic ice. Scientists are grappling with a perplexing mystery, the source of strange radio signals emanating from the ice in Antarctica. These signals were first detected using NASA experiments conducted between 2006 and 2016. The experiment aimed to search for high-energy cosmic particles known as neutrinos, but instead researchers stumbled upon these enigmatic radio waves. And I don't know what this is, but let's keep going. The signals, which originated from below the horizon, defy explanation under the current understanding of particle physics. Despite follow-up observations and analyses, using other instruments, scientists have been unable to detect the same signals again. Researchers are now pinning their hopes on larger and more sensitive detectors to potentially unravel this scientific enigma. The findings are recently published in the journal Physical Review Letters. So I don't know what this is, but we got some footage to check out. Let's get into this now. What the hell? Ah, damn it. I don't need a commercial here, but let's just get through that. Come on. Everybody's got to pay the bills. I understand, but I'd rather not put that on the screen. I did not know that was going to happen. Whoops. Here we go. Is there no sound at all? I guess it's just showing an icebreaker. What's going on? Okay. That's it? What the hell? Okay, well, that's icebreakers. All right. That wasn't at all exciting. There was another thing down here. What is this? Cincinnati Police. No, that's not it. Okay, well, there isn't any further news about this, but there you go. Some weird signals came beneath the ice. NASA detected it, and they've been looking for it since, but haven't been able to figure out where the hell the signals are coming from. Sounds kind of weird, right? I mean, why would there be signals, strange, weird, enigmatic signals emanating from beneath like 2 kilometers or more of ice? What the hell's going on down there? Now, I know that radio signals and other particle physics signals could have many natural explanations, but why is this such an enigma? Well, they must have detected something that shouldn't be there. Otherwise, why would they be putting this much effort into it? Something is going on that they are perplexed about enough to probably throw millions of dollars of research at it. So I don't know. I don't know what this is. If anybody knows more about this, I'd love to know. If, whatever you know, just let me know. I don't know if that even made sense, but you know what I mean. If you guys know more in-depth information about this story, or what is it they're looking for, or why is that enigmatic? There's a lot of questions I have at this point about what I just was reading to you. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But that's the first story, so pretty strange stuff going on down there. All right. Here we go. The first actual article. Well, the other one was actual as well, but this is from unexplained-mysteries.com. Here it is. Evidence of giant planet found in orbit around one of our nearest neighbors. What? Is this the enigmatic 9th planet they've been looking for? Is it just an orbit around one of our giant neighbors? What's going on? Let's see. Unless it's neighboring stars. I don't know what that means. Probably a star system. So maybe it's not part of ours. Astronomers believe that they have discovered a gas giant in orbit around the star Alpha Centauri A. Well, there you go. I got a gas giant cooking too. Whoa! Sorry, I'm an idiot. You get all that comedy for free of charge. Situated just 4 light years away in triple star system that also happens to be the closest star system to our own, the new planet was found using a mid-infrared instrument, or MIRI, aboard NASA's James Webb Space Telescope. With this system being so close to us, any exoplanets found would offer our best opportunity to collect data on planetary systems other than our own, said Charles Beichman, I guess, of NASA's JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Yet these are incredibly challenging observations to make, even with the world's most powerful space telescope, because these stars are so bright, close, and move across the sky pretty quickly. Webb was designed to optimized to find the most distant galaxies in the universe. The operations team at the Space Telescope Science Institute had come up with a custom observing sequence just for this target, and their extra effort paid off spectacularly. Sadly, even if the planet is definitively confirmed to exist, it's unlikely to be able to support life. Of all the directly imaged planets, it would be the closest to its star system so far. It's also the most similar in temperature and age to the giant planets in our own solar system and nearest to our home, Earth, said Caltech PhD student Aniket Sanghi. Its very existence in a system of two closely separated stars would challenge our understanding of how planets form, survive, and evolve in chaotic environments. Well, there you go. Didn't know that before today. I was today old when I learned it, and maybe you guys are as well. Hopefully that was good. Hopefully that was good information, and you feel as if you're a little more knowledgeable. I don't know. Maybe that's a pretty ambitious goal. But anyway, I hope you found that interesting. Now, this is a conspiracy one from unexplained-mysteries.com, and I love that about unexplained-mysteries, is they also dive into some of the conspiracy stuff. I'm not saying I understand the conspiracy stuff. I'm not even saying I'm behind a lot of it, but I find it interesting because they do point out there's a lot of questions that remain unanswered. And why is that? Well, it could be a conspiracy. So let's get to this one. Bizarre conspiracy theory suggests that the Titanic did not sink. Okay. I don't know if this is the one talking about the sister ship that was maybe scuttled in its place for insurance reasons or whatever. There is a conspiracy theory about that maybe the Titanic was fine, but they changed a lot of the identifiers with one of their other ships that was kind of beat up, and it was like a sister ship, a twin. And they were like, well, we're going to scuttle the Titanic, but not really, and collect insurance on it or something. Like a big, robust insurance scam is what I understand. I don't know if that's what we're going to be reading here, but I guess there's only one way to find out, and that is for me to read it. Here we go. Conspiracy theorists have perpetuated a rumor in recent years that rewrites the events of the Titanic disaster. If it's anything but that, I'm going to be like, oh my God, you people need hobbies. All right, the fact that the Titanic hit an iceberg and sank in 1912 is well established, and you might think that it would be impossible to claim that it didn't happen, and you would be right up to a point. This particular conspiracy, however, doesn't claim that no ship at all sank in the Atlantic on that date. Instead, it claims that the ship that sank wasn't actually the Titanic. It was the Olympic. Yeah, it's the one I'm familiar with then. Okay. In the early 1900s, White Star Line, who built both ships, was keen to beat the Lusitania and the Mauretania, the largest passenger ships of their day. And to this end, it commissioned 3 vessels, the Titanic, the Olympic, and the Britannic. The Olympic was completed first, but on its 5th voyage, a collision with another ship saw it sustain significant damage, and at a later court case, declared that White Star Line was responsible. Ooh, so it was damaged and it was their fault. Oof. And this is where conspiracy theorists say things began to differ from the official story, as they argue that the incident was so damaging for White Star Line that when the Titanic was completed, they decided to pull off an insurance scam by relabeling the 2 ships so that the Olympic was now the Titanic and vice versa. The original Olympic, now the Titanic, would then be scuttled in an accident so that they could recoup their losses on an insurance claim for the brand new ship. But what they didn't account for, however, is the ship hitting an iceberg on its maiden voyage. Of course, there's no concrete evidence to support this theory, and experts typically agree that the whole idea is complete nonsense. Even so, there remain a significant number of people who seem to believe that it's true. I don't know, it could be. I mean, when you're talking that much money, especially back then, if it was millions of dollars back then, that's like billions now or whatever. I don't know. That's an exaggeration probably, but why not? I mean, insurance scams happen to this day, so why not something on this scale? I don't know. Just saying. I I don't know how they planned to do it or what the plan was. It hit the iceberg and went down. I have heard also stories that there were observing ships in the area that could have come to the rescue, but I don't know, they didn't or whatever. I don't know. There's all kinds of weird stuff about the Titanic and oddities that don't seem to add up that suggest there was some other agenda going on. And I don't know. You believe what you want. That's what I have problems with conspiracies, is that there's so much to try to absorb and wrap your head around. But is it possible? I guess so. I don't know enough to have an argument either way, honestly. But it's interesting stuff. You might not have known that before today. Well, look into it. It's this idea has been around for a long time. It's not a brand new theory. It's actually quite old, but how true is it? I don't know. But there's a lot of questions. Anyway. All right, let's get to the next one. Because there's more. Oh my God. I saw this one. I was like, what? Oh my God. All right, well, here you go. From unexplained-mysteries.com. Thank you, Marcel. I appreciate it. I'm glad you love the show. I'm glad you love it, and I'm glad you're here. Thanks for being here and being a part of it. Make sure to subscribe. I'd appreciate it. All right, here's a weird world of the bizarre one. Wait till you hear this one, guys. From the world of the bizarre on unexplained-mysteries.com comes this gem. Man spends 2 days with a crossbow bolt lodged in his head. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow, that's gotta be brutal. I don't know what that. I wonder what happened. It's gotta be a hunting accident. Let's see what happened. Emergency responders couldn't believe their eyes when they were called to the man's home in Italy recently. According to reports, the man was found on his bed, still conscious, with the back of a crossbow bolt sticking out of his forehead. Oh my God. A concerned family member had contacted... How do you mean concerned? Yeah, obviously. A concerned family member had contacted the emergency services after discovering that he had been in this state for 2 days and hadn't eaten or drunk anything during that time. Did he lose his appetite? I wonder why. He had a crossbow bolt out of his forehead. Of course he didn't want a sandwich. He was immediately transferred to a hospital where a surgeon examined him. The doctor noted that he could still speak, though incoherently, and the bolt was preventing him from being able to turn his head properly. Yeah, something about those crossbow bolts. They just screw up your motor functions. A millimeter further and the patient would have died instantly. Maurizio Iaco Angeli, the head of neurosurgery at the Tourette Hospital in Ancona, told Italian newspaper the Corriere della Sera. I'm brutalizing that. I know I am, but I'm not Italian, so I'm doing the best I can. I've never seen anything like it. The medical team used a CAT scanner, a CT scanner, to determine how to best approach the problem. It's not so much about removing it, but rather removing it without causing massive bleeding, said the doctor. I'm just going to say the doctor. The arrow acts like a plug. If you remove it, you run the risk of a hemorrhage. Fortunately, the surgical team were able to remove the bolts, but the man continues to remain in serious condition. Yeah, something about having a bolt removed from your head. I can see why. Exactly how he managed to... Oh, he shot himself. Oh, my God. Exactly how he managed to shoot himself in the forehead with a crossbow remains unclear. Like, yeah, Scoob. I'm thinking... I think that was intentional. Obviously, he was probably... thought he was done. I mean, that was it. He was cashing in the chips. He was settling the accounts, so to speak, and it didn't go as well as he thought it would. Man, what a brutal deal. But I guess that is a person that's supposed to be alive. You're not. Somebody's going, you're not getting out like that. You're going to stick around and deal with things. So, wow, that's a crazy story. Yeah, I mean, if you shoot yourself in the head with a crossbow, you gotta mean it. I mean, that's not like, oh, I just set it there and oops, it went off. I mean, in your own forehead. I think that guy was trying to cash in the chips, which is a horrible thing all in itself. I mean, God, life gets hard, it gets painful, it gets heavy, but man, you got to stick it out. You got to see it through. What a deal, though. Oh, man. Can't imagine what the bill for that deal is going to be. They got universal Medicare or health over there? You better hope so, because that would be one hell of a bill. That's not the kind of news you see every day. Just saying. So you got it here in the portal. I don't know. I don't mean to laugh because it's funny. I mean, it's a horrible thing if somebody's that broken that they're like, oh, I don't, I guess I'll just eat a crossbow. But man, why do they assume he shot himself unless he tried to off himself? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, obviously they must have thought he did it himself. I don't know. Maybe there was no sign of entry or any number of things, but he must have owned a crossbow and that's ever considered murder. Well, I mean, it could be, but if it didn't work. I hope, whatever the case is, I mean, obviously, my prayers and hopes to the guy are, consistent. I don't want him to be brutalized, especially if it was done by somebody else. We just don't know, but I'm just here to tell you, it's like, I think it would be exceptionally hard, like, to shoot yourself with a crossbow. Like, you got to mean it. I don't think it's like, oh, I didn't know it was loaded. Because you can see it's loaded, it's bent, and there's a arrow in it, or a bolt, as they call them. I mean, you can see looking at, oh, that's not safe to point at my head. With a firearm, you don't know, and so you have to treat everything you touch with a firearm as if it's loaded. But with a crossbow, you can, oh yeah, that's not safe right now. So I don't know. Sorry if that's in poor taste. I don't know what to say. It's one of those stories. It is bizarre. He's alive, and I don't know if he's expected to be okay or not. There's no prognosis given to us in this article, but you hope so. I don't hope for anybody to be in dire straits. So, interesting story. I think that's where we're going to cut off the news. So, this has been a presentation of the Paranormal Portal news. Hope you found that interesting and fun. Let's get back to the rest of the show. I'm just seeing all your guys' talk about that story. And yeah, I don't know how big the crossbow was. I mean, there's little ones. There's pistol-sized crossbows. I know that are, I mean, they're not extraordinarily powerful, but they could still cause a lot of damage. But yeah, that's a weird one. Maybe it ricocheted off of something. That's a good point. I mean, there's so much we don't know. All we can do is just take it for what, details they provide. I'm sure there might be a more robust story out there somewhere that details the happenings a little better, but man, what a deal. He was still conscious though, but laid there for 2 days. Oof, that's tough. Maybe he just didn't have the motor skills or something. I don't know. It's hard to say. And obviously my heart goes out to somebody that's hurting like that, whether it's self-inflicted or otherwise, but it's still pretty horrible. Pretty horrible stuff, folks. All right. So now, as we've been doing, just got to get to the bottom of this. We'll keep ciphering that out. I don't know if any more information will come out about it. Unfortunately, the news is pretty fast and fickle. Like, everybody will forget about that guy tomorrow, and there'll be a whole bunch of new things to be concerned about, I guess. But it's just kind of the way of things. Thought I heard my cat's collar, but he's not supposed to be in here. He's not supposed to be in here right now. He's Italian. He ain't talking. Forget about it, huh? Quit boasting my chaps. That's more of a American Italian, I guess. But anyway, there you go. I don't think it was Disney's Robin Hood Chucky. The imp was a hand crossbow, if I remember correctly. I don't know. It might be. I don't know that much about that stuff. I just know I've seen like handheld size, the big rifle-like size where it looks like a rifle stock with a crossbow on it. There's all kinds of them, and that's got to be my cat, right? Is he in here? It's the second time I heard that jingling. He's not in here, I don't think. No, he's not. I don't see him here. I heard jingling twice. Did you guys hear that? It was like in this room too. Oh, you are here. He's right there. Hey, Nubis. Excuse me while I let out my cat.
Eggplant.
Eggplant. The ghost box says eggplant. No, it's a cat. It's just a black cat, not an eggplant. Thank you, though. That's the ghost radar, folks. Give me just a sec. I'm going to let him out. He's getting a little restless. I didn't know he was in here, a little sneak. Come here. Come here. Come on. You go out. You go out, little man. You go out. Come on. Come on. It's showtime, baby. You gotta go out. Okay? You go out there. I'll be here. I'll talk to you at the end. It was like 2 times. I heard that jingling, and I was like, what is that? That doesn't make sense, but there you go. You just never know what's happening here. Well, thanks for that. Thanks for the reinforcement, Eric. Eric's like, I heard it too. Well, good, because I thought I was hallucinating for a second. Like, huh? Where's that? So anyway, that's Kitty. That's Anubis. He's my black cat. He's wonderful. He's about 10 now. He's getting older. I don't know how long I'll have him. He's having a little bit of health trouble, but he's a sweetheart. He's just a sweetheart. All right, so we got more to get to. Obviously, folks, I think we're gonna go into the what the hell is that now? Eggplant. What does that mean? The ghost radar had said eggplant. I just, I'll tell you. Oh, Vincent's saying something. Sometimes when using an iPhone, the option to be a member button is not found at you'll need to use a desktop. Thank you, Vincent. I appreciate that. You know what? You're probably right, because I'll tell you, when I was down in the Ryan Hotel in Wallace, Idaho, doing the investigation, the ghost investigation with Charles, and I streamed it. So those of you that were got the notifications, I guess you probably saw that, and hopefully joined me when that happened or have watched the video since. But I was going to stream the actual investigation as a members only video, but I was not able to turn on members only through my phone. So you're right. I'm sure that's probably true. And it does create a bit of a hindrance, I guess, to doing it on the fly like that. So I just streamed it for everybody. And those of you that showed up, I hope you enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. I would love to do a lot more investigating like that. I'd really love doing it. I find it fascinating when the things start getting triggered and there's no explanation. At least none that I know of. I'm not saying there couldn't be some kind of more mundane explanation, but it seemed pretty fantastic. It seems pretty fantastic. I was just reading novels at the same time as trying to talk, and that's what happens. I invent new words when that happens. That's strange. You can find memberships on the main page as well. So are you guys seeing? Maybe it's a version. It has to do with between an iPhone or an Android. Maybe there's something like that. I think, as I recall from a meeting I had with the YouTube rep, I think there is an issue with Androids getting the member stuff or having access to it or doing member streams, but I didn't find a way to make it on my iPhone. So maybe it's vice versa. I don't know. But anyway, there is some things that you can do on an iPhone that you can on Android, and vice versa. I don't know what the actual breakdown is, or vice versa, I should say. Yeah, maybe it is the iPhone that you can't. But if you get to a desktop, you can become a member. And I don't know if you have a desktop or a laptop or something like that. I'm not sure about, I would think that tablet is probably the same as a phone as far as functionality, so it probably isn't that different, but I'll try to find out more information about that. I will. Shane Grove, how you doing, brother? Good to see you, Mr. Shane Grove, ladies and gentlemen of From the Shadows podcast. Gentleman and sage in his own right. He's got a great show. So you guys got to support that. Before I go any further, though, I want to talk about some things that are coming up that I am going to be at or a part of. And I've been doing this on all the shows lately because I am making some appearances. I don't do this much. Obviously, it's it's always a financial consideration to do them. But I love doing shows and getting out and meeting you guys where and when I can. So this is the first one I'll be going to, which is just in a couple weeks, I guess. It's a couple weeks away. It's going so fast. And this is Phenomicon, ladies and gentlemen. Phenomicon will be happening September 3rd through the 6th in Vernal, Utah. And it truly is an exceptional event. Look at that imagery and stuff to show you just how big it is. It's a huge event. It takes place over 4 days. And they really have an exceptional laundry list of speakers. Some of the real big names from around the country and in both media and entertainment and research and authors. I know Jeff Meldrum is going to be there. David Paulides is going to be there. Dave Schrader himself will be there. Dave's a great guy. Thomas Winterton, Eric Bard, and Travis will be there, as well as several others from the Mysteries of Skinwalker Ranch TV show. Jack Osborne will be there. Nick Pope. A lot of Ancient Aliens. Georgie Tsoukalos will be there. So there's a lot going on. I will be there, as will Tony Rathman and Cherie Rathman, and they are two friends of mine. And they're going to be presenting there as well. They're wonderful people. They are involved in the Staticom project, and if you want to check that out. So that'll be going on. And yeah, thanks, Shane. I appreciate they're here supporting me too. And so I'm just trying to share the love and tell them to go support you too. All right, so this is Phenomicon. That one's coming up in, again, September 3rd through the 6th. Vernal, Utah. I hope at least some of you can make it there. But if not, there's other opportunities. And I might have just, I'm pretty sure I'm going to do another one in October too. And I'll talk to you about that in a minute. That one's going to be a real small event though. Not a lot of people will be there. It's more of a community kind of event rather than a big draw, but it's neat that they're doing it. But the next one I'll be at is at the end of September, and I'm going to be here. The Crossing Realms Conference, and if you've watched Bigfoot Michigan Rob's show, Texas Front Porch, The Blondes and the Booze, Monica Rollins' show, Paul's show, Our Paranormal Planets, our Paranormal World. This is the conference that is being spearheaded by all of them. I'm going to be there as a special guest, and this is happening at the Eagleton Civic Center in Richmond, Missouri. And you can go to Eventbrite for tickets and look up the Crossing Realms Conference. And it looks like $13.66 are the ticket prices per day. It is going on, looks like Friday, September, what is it? It looks like Friday is the big day for the conference. So there are other events going on around then, but I think they're all VIP events. So Friday looks like September, what did it say? 18th. That's the 19th, September 19th. Friday, September 19th. So I'll be there. And I'd love for you guys to be there if you can be. And again, that's the Crossing Realms Conference. Go to Google, type in Crossing Realms Conference, and find the Eventbrite link. That's up here. And that'll help you get your tickets and come and say hello to not only me, but all those other amazing creators. That'll be a great time. So are you going live? What does that say? Are you going live during conference, Brent? No, not really. It's my shows to go live. I mean, I might do some live streams and walk you guys around these different locations, but I'm not going to do a regular live stream at these events. I have too much hardware to haul around and that I would take to do a nice job at it. So that'll be happening. And then the next thing I'm scheduled to do for sure is this one. And this is coming up on the East Coast. So far I got Vernal, Utah. I've got Missouri, Richmond, Missouri. And now we're going to Massachusetts, folks, because I'm going to be teaming up with the Hometown Ghost Stories guys. And I'll be doing a live presentation at this event, not live broadcast, but live to the house of attendees. And this will be at October 24th in Massachusetts at the Barrel House Z. And this is Weymouth, Massachusetts. These tickets are also available on Eventbrite. And any of you on the East Coast, please look into attending this. We'd love to see you. I'd love to meet you if you're here watching my show. That would be wonderful. And so these are 3 events. Now there's a 4th event that I'm looking at doing yet this year, and that's in October as well. And that may be back down in Wallace, Idaho, where I just did that ghost hunt. So that one is coming up. I can't remember the dates. I got all that written down somewhere. But I don't know if any of you are in the neighborhood close enough to attend something like that. I think it's a 2-day event, believe it or not. So it's actually going to be a little bit longer in some ways, but I don't know how many people will be there. It's anybody's guess. It's the first year. It's their debut show. And I just talked to the lady who was organizing it when I was down in Wallace. And I thought, well, that'd be fun. So if you can make it to there, Wallace, Idaho, it's in the beginning part of October somewhere. Like, I think it's around the 13th, as I'm recalling, but I don't remember for sure. Anyway, that's what's going on. So those are some events I'm going to be at. I would love the opportunity to meet you guys because, look, I've met some of you guys at shows up to this point, and it really is one of the most rewarding things about doing shows like this is the chance to connect with you guys, to say, hey, thank you. Thank you in person for all your love and support. And so if you can make any of these shows, it would mean the world to me to say hello to you. So there we go. Those are some events. I just wanted to put that out there. Just saying. All right. Get more spam over on Twitch. That's great. When nobody cares about those viewers on Stream Boo, whatever the hell that is. But anyway, here we go. We're going to get into some of the what the hell is that. We're going to go back into the articles about ghost pictures. And then I got some other stuff to show you for the what the hell is that segment. So let's get to that right now, folks. It's time for what the hell is that?
What the hell is that?
Exactly. That's what we're all wondering. What the hell is that? All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. So we've been going through this article from liveabout.com. And we did the Madonna of Bachelor's Grove. We did number 9, but I want to go up here and see who wrote this article again. Stephen Wagner. I was going to say Richard, but it's Stephen Wagner. And this is the last updated last July, actually. A year ago, July. So from 2024, it's a great article because it's really highlighting some of these incredible ghost photos that have been around for quite some time. And they're pretty fascinating. Where the hell were we? Where am I? My God. We did that one. There we go. Okay, here we go. So this one, next one, is from this article that we've been going through. And here it is. The railroad crossing ghost, folks. I think I'm going to move my picture. There I am. I'm going to move me over here. Because, why do I need to be over there? I can be here instead. There we go. The floating head. You never know where I'm going. The railroad crossing ghost. This is number 10 of 28 in this article. Exceptional article. Check out liveabout.com. Stephen Wagner's written several articles for the site, and they're all exceptionally well done. So please support his work. This says the tale of this one is a strange legend surrounds a railroad crossing south of San Antonio, Texas. I'm going to blow up this font. This font is just a little too small. There we go. This is more of my size. It says the intersection of roadway and railroad track, so the story goes. was the site of a tragic accident in several school-aged children were unalived, but their ghosts linger at that spot and will push dead cars across the tracks, even though the path is uphill. Now, I know I've seen several shows have checked out this, and it seems like, even though it's kind of an optical illusion is what I think it worked out as, in that it looks like it's uphill to the tracks, but when the levels are used and other measuring devices, it's actually a downhill grade. And so it seems as though you're being pushed uphill by these unseen children, getting you over the tracks safely. However, I think, as I recall, and I might be misstating the location, it might be another location, but I'm pretty sure it was this one, where it was pretty seriously tested, and they did find out that, look, it looks like you're going uphill, but you're actually gliding downhill. It's very, very gradual downhill slope. So it's not as fantastic as it sounds. However, there is a photo here. Let's see what this says. The story may just be the stuff of urban legend, but the accounts were intriguing enough that an article about the phenomena, the haunted railroad crossing, was written. The article included a photograph submitted by Andy and Debbie Chesney. Their daughter and some of their friends had recently been to the crossing to test the legend, and she took some photographs. A strange, transparent figure inexplicably turned up in one of those photos. They had no idea that it was in the picture until the next day when I printed out the picture and showed them. Said the Chesneys, it was really freaky. It appears to be a little girl carrying a teddy bear. Other readers who have reviewed this ghost picture think it shows a little girl with a dog sitting at her feet. But what do you think? All right, let's see if this allows us to see it any better. All right, I will say, you see how hot that crossing is from the flash? I'm just going to say that this is most likely a lensing artifact. And how do I explain this? Lensing artifacts are basically lens flares. When you're taking a photo and you hit something reflective, and certainly a railroad crossing sign is incredibly reflective because it's supposed to grab your attention, so you don't miss it and go over the tracks unaware. Now, when that happens, the light is reflected back at the aperture of the camera. The lens is a curved object. So if this was a lens and the light is coming in, it may hit the lens at one point, but it'll be diffracted to a different part of the sensor. So if it's up here, it may be diffracted down to a lower segment in that arc of crystal or glass, whatever the lens is made out of. And that will create artifacts like this. It does look like a little girl. I don't really see the whole shape of this crossed X in this. I'm only seeing a little bit of it here. So it is atypical for a lens flare, but it still may be a mechanic of the sign being bent a little bit or misshapen or weathered or anything. So it's hard to know exactly if that's the case, but it is, obviously this is what we call in photography a very hot spot. It's a over bright, and it's blasting out the frame. And that's why everything else looks so milky, is because that's the intensity of this reflected light coming back at the camera. So I'm betting this is probably just more of a lens flare. But it is very curious because it is about the size of a little kid. So what do you think? Number 1, that's a ghost. Number 0 in the chat, nah, it's not a ghost. What do you guys think? Time to weigh in. It's the chat poll time, folks. I want to know what you think. Waiting for some responses. Sharon Sunshine says, yeah. She's all in on this being a ghost. Chucky, nope. Bogart, nope. Eric Walker, nope. Where was I? Michelle Wolfong says, yeah, she thinks it's real. Where are we? Rachel, no. John Stevenson, no. Joanne is, yeah, she's in. And it could be. I'm not saying it's definitely a lens flare. I'm just saying that's hard to debunk, or if I was debunking it, that's the first thing I'm looking at is why is that hot light coming back at it, and how is that affecting the exposure? Owl 13, hey, she doesn't know. I like the emoji answer. That's awesome. Cat Doherty's, nope. Looks like a light. Marcel says, fair enough, guys. Barbara Mora's, nope, she's not in there. Okay, well, there you go. Car Juice likes black kitties. Good taste. I like black cats, too. I just like all cats. I'm just not really, I don't buy into that whole superstition thing. I've had several black cats through the years, and they've been wonderful. So, Linda says, no, not buying it. Okay, fair enough. And we don't really know. We're on the outside looking in. We can't test this. We can't try to replicate the image. Don't have the camera they use. So there's lots of things that we just won't have the ability to do. But this segment's not about saying yes, absolutely true, or no, absolutely fake, or false. And these kind of captures, I don't think are hoaxes, because I just think they're generally considered false positives, where people are seeing something, and in this case, that looks like a little kid standing there. It really does. That's an incredible lens flare to be made from a railroad crossing sign. I don't know how that's rendered like that. So it is very peculiar, but you can't, in my opinion, you can't ignore this part. This is definitely going to create light artifacts in the frame. This light artifact, I would never have expected in a million years. I would have expected it to look more like the X, except over here. So it's not definitive either way, but it could be real. It could be an absolute genuine capture. So I'm just putting it out there. These are just things to consider as we look at this stuff. One of the big reasons I started doing What the Hell Was That is just to introduce some critical thinking and just discuss this stuff, because there's a lot of confirmation bias in this paranormal world of ours, where people are all in on anything. And I'm just saying, wait, slow down, break it down. What could it be? So that's kind of why we're doing this. This one's kind of creepy. This one's been around for a long time. It is a specter of some sort. And it says specter, so that's where I grabbed the word subconsciously from. The specter of Newby Church. Newby Church. That's an interesting church name. Where do you go to church, Newby? Oh, you're brand new. No, I just go there. Sheldon Thomas, do you want to come on? You are welcome to come on, my boy. Just a minute. I'll bring you on and we'll discuss more of this stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, we got an impromptu co-host tonight. Let me just whip this up and I'll send you an invite. I just saw that you were there. Sorry. Let's start this. We'll see if we got the Zoom working. I guess Chucky and I... Oh, there's the Zoom. Chucky and I think got all the kinks worked out after the show last time. But I guess this will be a great opportunity to test it. Let me go to... Oh, oops. We're not done with this. We're not done with that. But let me go here and I'm going to pull up the email and email Sheldon so that he can join us. Oh, good. I guess they got in contact. All right. Sheldon. And, okay, that's done. Okay, dismiss. I don't need to know how much storage I have left. Link. And Sheldon, there's the link. I have mailed it, Mr. Sheldon Thomas. It is there for you, should you wish to participate. Which clearly seems you want to participate, which is nice. It's nice to have company. I've got a whole slot of eager co-hosts with me. All right, let's get to... What am I doing? Oh, yeah, I got to move that, don't I? Let's do this. I'm going to move it into position so that when Sheldon joins, and he is joined.
Whoa!
You're taking
what a shocker!
You're taking up the whole frame. Why is it doing that? It's not quite perfect. Damn it. It's good enough. I'm just going to move it into position for now. Help me test it after the show, though, okay? I'm going to try to fix what's not working after the show. But let me do this. There you are, the floating head.
That's right.
The floating head of Sheldon. is here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to try to make you fit better. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sheldon Thomas.
Hello. I know hump day. What's going on? Hope everyone's having a good week so far.
Yeah, they are. They told me.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, they told me. Well, you're in the frame now. You're blown up a little bit. You're a little pixelated, but that's okay.
Oh, another fat joke. Nice. Wow.
You're such a rotten child. I don't know. Should have disowned you.
You raised me. It's your fault.
It is my fault. You're right. I'm sure I put enough of that damage into you. And this is what we got. All right, so we're going through ghost pictures, Sheldon.
Yeah, I saw the one you were looking at with the X.
Yeah, the railroad crossing sign, yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you think of that one? Did you have an opinion?
That's what the first thing I saw, and then you moved on. So
Oh, okay.
That's the last thing I saw.
All right, fair enough. Well, let's get to the next one. This is the specter of Newby Church. Ever heard of Newby Church before, Sheldon?
Newby Church. Is that where the bad players go?
Yeah. Yeah, that's where they go to repent. All right. This ghost picture was taken in 1963 by Reverend K.F. Lord at Newby Church in North Yorkshire, England. It's been a controversial photo because it's just too good. The shrouded face looking directly at the camera makes it look like it was posed a clever double exposure. Yet supposedly the picture has been scrutinized by photo experts who say the image is not the result of double exposure. The Reverend Lord has said the photo was that nothing was visible to the naked eye when he took the snapshot of his altar, and yet, when the film was developed, the strange figure was standing there. The Newby Church was built in 1870, and as far as anyone knows, did not have a history of ghosts, hauntings, or other peculiar phenomena. Those who have carefully analyzed the proportions of the object in the photo calculate this specter is about 9 feet tall. Ooh, there it is, a bigger version. And
that's actually the most interesting part, that there wasn't a history of it, and yet it happened.
And then it happened, yeah.
Oh.
But what is this?
Oh my god, it looks like a Cthulhu.
I was thinking the same thing, like a squid face, right?
Yeah.
Like something out of Dungeons and Dragons or something.
It actually does.
Yeah, that's creepy as hell.
Oh.
And 9 feet tall, apparently, by the proportions. Now, I will say, look, this is the top of the head. This is the draping cloak over that step. That looks like non-human proportions to me.
It does, yeah.
I don't know. Good day, Brad Budark. Good to see you, brother. How's the family? I haven't seen any pictures lately. I keep enjoying the family photos when you post them, but good to see you, man. Good to have you back. Thanks for coming in. So, what do you guys think? Is this an actual capture? Is this a ghost? In your opinion, obviously, none of us are experts. We're looking at a very historical photo. This is before Photoshop. It's before digital cameras. This was a film capture.
1800s.
No, the church was from the 1800s. He took this picture in the 1960s. So it would be a more modern film camera to a degree.
Now, what I'm wondering is that face, like I think I see a cross behind it, but is that face exactly where like candles are melted in the background?
Well, that's an interesting point. That's a good question. A very good question, actually, but I don't know. It looks like just the wall. There's the altar here up until here, and this is just wall behind it. Could there be a sconce there that we're not able to differentiate? I mean, this is grainy as hell. Let's see.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to
Let me just see if we can find a better version of this.
Because there's that ledge right where that Cthulhu face is. That also kind of looks like melted wax.
Yeah, that's not a bad... Oh, I hate this. I wish it wouldn't do this. I don't want Bing. Spectre at Newby Church. Let's just see if we can find better imagery of it.
Yeah, a restored piece maybe.
Figure found in a photograph taken at the Church of Christ. Let's go to images. See if we can find a better version. Oh, here we go. This one is a lot less pixelated. If I can get it There it is. That's a different take of it. You're not wrong. It does look like eye holes there, though, doesn't it?
It actually does.
I want to see if I can zoom this in. I want to see if I can make it much bigger. Yeah, I can make it much bigger. Whoops. There we go. I mean, it looks like a melted face. Could it be a candle? Maybe. I don't know.
I think it might. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what would the black dots be. But
so
like, if it is
these, it could be.
Yeah, like,
let's,
if it was a big candle and that's all melted wax and all that, I don't know what the black dots would be.
Yeah, that's not a bad take though. Honestly, it's the weird part is on the full figure of it. There's clearly like a discoloration all the way down here, like a weird shadow. And that does look like a hood. So if it was a candle, what is all this other stuff?
Well, no, what I'm thinking is like I think the dark figure part is true. I'm just not sure what the Cthulhu face part. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is a much clearer image though. It's easier to see what it is we're looking at. This actually shows the other side, and there's no other candles or anything up here though.
No, you're right.
You know?
You would think they'd make it symmetrical. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, generally speaking, yeah, but it's definitely a Christian altar. But this so time for a chat poll. Is this a capture? 1, it's a ghost, specter, spirit, something. 0, nah. What do you think? I'm curious what you guys think.
I lean to 1. I lean toward yes.
This is actually an image that goes all the way back to my childhood when I was little, and the only resource I had for this stuff was the little 3-foot section at the library with ghosts and weird stuff. And this image was in one of those old books. Okay, so we got a lot of 1s. She's all in. Bogart's all in. Maggie's halfway. Sharon Sunshine's in. Kat Doherty's in. Chucky's all in. 1 knee. What's knee? The Knights Who Say Knee? Monty Python. Ghost Magnet's all in on it. Joanne is, she's in on it. Rachel's good to go. Barbara's undecided over there. Carjuice says hello to Sheldon over in Rumble.
Hi.
So, yeah, I don't know. Joanne's a definite 1, she says. Okay. Very cool. I think it's a fascinating capture. Again, this brings me back to my childhood when my fascination was going wild and I wanted to understand as much as I could, but there wasn't much to understand. It was just a small bookshelf. It just wasn't a big part of our library in Red Wing, Minnesota.
No, right.
It just was a small section, but I love that old book because it had a lot of these photos in there, ghost photos. So I think it's a great capture personally. Again,
I think so. Yeah, because there's windows. The lighting is all dark on that side, where in the shape of it right there.
Yeah.
Look, the other side is all bright. So yeah,
it is an really incredible capture. So naturally, there's a school of thought that the monk is little more than an accomplice taffled in bed sheets or similar. I don't know what if it's his church, I don't know what he's planning to accomplish because. This isn't how you sell religion by saying, "Hey,
our church and get haunted."
Yeah, our church is actually haunted by a 9-foot wraith or reaper. We're not sure, but come on in. So anyway, that's not good marketing if it was a fake. That's not a good way to get people to show up. I'm just saying. So there you go. Interesting, all the same. I'm going to keep this search stuff open because we'll keep referring to it. I think many of us believe this is the real deal. I've always loved this picture. But again, I have a real confirmation bias on it because this one brings me back to being a little kid trying to look at ghost stuff, being fascinated.
Wow, yeah.
So here we are, number 12, Ghost of the Seven Gables. Huh. I think this is one I'm familiar with, but I'm not really seeing the ghost. I guess that's it. Is that? I mean, that really is like a blob squatch kind of thing to me. But let's see what it says. While touring the historic house of the Seven Gables in Salem, Massachusetts, the birthplace of American author Nathaniel Hawthorne, Lisa B. snapped this remarkable photo. The ghostly image of a small boy seems to be in the shrubbery, peering over the wooden fence. The most amazing part of the story of this photograph is that she subsequently researched Hawthorne and the house while looking through a library, and she came across one of Hawthorne's books, 20 Days with Julian and Little Bunny by Papa. On the cover of that book is a portrait of Hawthorne's 5-year-old son, Julian. As you'll see by clicking on the photo at the left, the portrait of Julian bears a striking resemblance to the ghost in Lisa's photograph. I don't see that other thing to click on, but I don't. Oh, I see. Okay. It's a very. I mean, it could be. I guess.
I don't see it.
Well, that's a little nose. There's a little eye shadow. There's like a hairline. There's a little nose and up to like a mouth peeking over this railing. So.
My brain can't see it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm not seeing it real well either, but I see what they're trying to say. I wonder if I can blow it up even more. Oh, why do I keep going down? Other way. Other way, that's why. I just want to keep trying to make it bigger if I can.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep going. Oh, God. I lost it. Do you see that? There's a little nose.
I can't.
It's like right in.
Can't.
It's not quite in the center. It's kind of off to the left hemisphere of the circle. I'm circling what I think is the face. That's a little bigger.
White spots, but...
Right here, yeah. So that's like an eye. There's a little nose, little button nose here, and then almost like the top lip, and then the railing comes.
I'm kind of seeing. I
Yeah.
kind of see it. Yeah.
Pareidolia, Eric Walker says, yeah, I'm thinking it probably is. I mean, that's a great take, Eric, honestly. So, what do you guys think? 1 or 0? Real? 1? 0? Not so convinced. Let me know. I want to see what you guys think in the chat. Time for the chat poll. Once again, they're going to do all chat polls on these. Chucky's not in. He's not in on this. Neither is Bogart or Maggie. Okay. And then we got John, Rachel, Golden Age, Linda, Sharon Sunch, all zeros. Brad Boudark's in on this one, though.
-1.
-1 from Brad. Oh, -1. I missed. I thought he was all in. I was, okay, the minus. Yeah, basic math. I'm not real good at it, obviously. Jason Fitch is not buying it.
Yeah, I can't. It's too, like, no, because it so easily could be like patterns from the bush are making it seem like it's a face, you know.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's like
can't.
thousands of online Sasquatch photos right there. and I mean, honestly, pareidolia is a very real thing, and it's just our mind trying to find familiarity in chaotic patterns. Mm-hmm. So we look for things that make that not look so chaotic. And so we see a face. Now, could it be? Maybe, but it's just not really convincing. Yeah. And it's just too much like the rest of the leaves behind it. That is just a pretty fantastic capture that seemed to resemble a child. I don't know. But you be the judge. It's not my place to, again, say that this is real or not. I don't know. I personally can't subscribe to this one. So...
Yep.
All right, let's go to the ghost in the choir loft. The ghost in the choir loft, Sheldon. I guess this is the choir loft, but we'll have to see what they're talking. Or is this it? I don't know. I'm not sure what we're looking at yet. Let's check it out. In 1982, photographer Chris Brackley photographed interior of London's St. Botolph's Church, but never expected what would appear in the film. High in the church loft, seen in the upper right-hand corner of this photograph, is the transparent form of a woman. There were only 3 people in the church when this ghost picture was taken, and none of them were in the loft, according to Brackley. Well, let's see if we can... Kinda. It's very, 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 very subtle, honestly. can kind of see a woman shape here. Again, maybe I can find a better version of this. What was this called? Ghost in the Choir Loft. Let's try to find it.
Yeah.
Ghost in the Choir Loft. Oh, there she is. That's a little better version, I guess. I'm looking for a big image of it, though. That's not really big, but that is a more contrasted image, so you can see that there's what looks like a head.
Oh, wow. That's a better picture.
Yeah, I mean, here's the first one. She's up here. Let me see if I can zoom this in. Do the same thing again. Now this should help. Let's go to number 2. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it kind of looks like it might be. Again, you almost need multiple pictures. Like when the apparition is there, when it's not there. What does it look like normally? Because I don't know. I've not been there. And we're looking at this. It's a weird milky area that does resemble a human shape. But is that a ghost? Maybe. So what do you guys think? 1, there's a ghost in the loft and you can see it. You believe it? 0, not so much. Time to vote. Time to vote, folks. We need your input. My first thought is a knight. Oh, interesting. Yeah, Chucky's all in. He's seeing the ghost. I mean, I'm seeing a head for sure. It looks like a ghostly head. I just can't make out for sure what's underneath it. Eric's halfway there. Golden Age is 1. Bogart, not so much. John Stevenson's in. Rachel gets it right. It's all in. All 13. 1. Yeah. Sharon Sunshine 1. Barbara Mora 1. Undecided looks 0. It looks like an otter. Was that from the last one, Barbara? Sorry, I missed that. But this one, she's all in. Karen Alberding is 1. Brad's all, not a negative 1. It's a 1 this time from Brad. Well done, sir. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good capture, all things considered.
That's a door. You know, why would you put it I don't know, if it was like a statue or something, why would you put it in front of a door? Or like, why would you put something in front of a door?
Yeah, well,
So,
fair enough.
Something's there.
Yeah.
I just, can't quite tell.
It is curious. I don't know for sure. It's a beautiful church, though. My God, look at how big that is. Wow.
Yeah, it is.
That's striking. But there you have it. The ghost of the choir loft. Unknown says don't know. Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know for sure either. What if it's just a floating head? He has a hat on. 1. Ghost Magnet says it's a hat. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, you could be absolutely right. I think it's fantastic. I think there's potentially something to that one. Again, I'd love to see an image of it without that there. What does it look like without it? That's where you really need a side-by-side. Like, look, this is what I captured. This is what it should have looked like. That would help a bunch, but we don't have that. So we can only go by what we can see here. But interesting stuff. We'll do one more. Then we'll get to the cryptids. Well, no, I gotta actually stop here because I do have other videos to share with you guys. I got a couple gems, I think. A couple interesting ones, anyway.
I like gems.
Well, this one's a video. The activity is very quick. This is coming from Slapped Ham official community on Facebook, and this video looks like it's kind of good. I don't know. Something jumps off the shelf, so I gotta close the chat. It keeps opening all my chats. I don't know why it does that. It's like, yeah, I just need to get on with the show. All right, so again, from Slapped Ham community, Slapped Ham official community page on Facebook, comes this footage, folks. And next up is an image of a cryptid, believe it or not.
Ooh.
But let's get to this one. Here you go. This is a ghost video. I think it's a really good capture. This is using an indoor, I don't know, some kind of indoor security camera in this house, but pretty cool capture all the same. Let's show you. Watch back in here where I'm circling with my mouse. This is where the activity is going to happen. I did watch this one, so check it out.
that doing? You really this money? You know what? Is that what I want? What the fuck?
Did you see that? The mom was out of there. She bailed on her own kid. She's like, I'm gone. The kid is absolutely unaware. He's in VR land. He has no idea what's going on. And she bailed. She left him. She's like, "Nyeh." And she was gone. That's that maternal instinct kicking in right there.
Yeah.
You're on your own. Let's watch it again. There's a lot of extra film in this that they probably didn't need to keep. But you can see that guy's, I think he's playing Gorilla Tag, actually. The minion plays that. And he always looks like that. He always swinging his arms around like that.
What that doing? You really this money? You know what? Is that what I want?
I will tell you, I've scored the old junk controller a few times walking around him when he was playing Gorilla Tag. It's like, whap! Yeah, it was not fun.
What the fuck?
Sorry for the language, but yeah, she bails on her own kid, man. Can you believe that? She's out, man. Oh, everybody for themselves. She's gone. Yeah. Yeah, worst time for paranormal activity when you're wearing VR. Yeah, VR is fun. It's really fascinating. Really cool. But there you have it. What do you think? I think it's pretty good. I think it's a pretty good capture. I mean, something comes off of the shelf with authority. It's coming off. Apparently, he doesn't think this kid should be spending all this time in VR. It's like old school. Get that kid out of there. Too many video games. Anyway, get off my lawn. I don't know. He's a get off my lawn guy. He's throwing stuff in their living room. But I just laugh because his mom bails on her own kid. She's gone. She's out of frame. The kid still has no idea what's going on. And she's all throwing out expletives and running out of scene. She was done. Sharon says nope. Is that just because of bad maternal instinct there for the mom? Is that what the 0 stands for?
Maybe.
I'm like, you got to protect your kid. My God, lady. She's just gone. She's all done. There you go.
Yeah.
But what the hell is that? Well, we don't really know, but it happened. Now I got another image coming up for what the hell is that? This one's kind of a really legendary image. It's been around for a long time. And I think it's pretty solid. You know, I don't know, though. Oh, what the hell just happened? Should have stayed on that. There we go. This one is, it's a Swiss photographer. This takes place, the image was apparently captured in 1834. And I don't know. It was claimed to have caught the Tatzelworm on camera. I think maybe we should start with the Tatzelworm explanation.
Yeah, I don't even
Oh
know
my God, I lost Google again. Google. All right. Let's do Tatzelworm. Tatzelwurm. It sounds like some Swedish thing. All right, here we go. Oh, we're doing a Brave search, okay. All right, here's the Tatzelworm, just for a little bit of background, folks. From Wikipedia, tells us, the Tatzelworm is a folklore of the Alpine region of South Central Europe. The Tatzelworm, stolen worm or stool worm, is a lizard-like creature, essentially a sort of dragon, often described as having the face of a cat, with a serpent-like body which may be slender or stubby, with 4 short legs and or 2 forelegs and no hind legs. The latter a trait shared with many lindworms. I don't know what that means. Stories of essentially the same creature also exist in the folklore of South Sweden. That brings us to this little gem. And there's a bit of a story. This comes from Cryptozoology Facts group on Facebook. In 1934, Balkan, a Swiss photographer, claimed to have caught the Tatzelworm on camera. He took the image when he was in Meiringen, Switzerland, and claimed he thought it was a log, but when the camera flashed, the log moved. When the image was published, it created a lot of public interest, so much so that the The Berliner Illustrate Zeitung Zoom. I don't know. I don't speak German, so that's as close as I'm going to get. A German magazine sponsored an expedition. The expedition did not turn up anything, and it's widely believed that Balkan hoaxed the image. There's more. Oh, there's a lot more. I'm not going to read all of that, but here's the image. I mean, you can see how there's this wide mouth with lots of like needle teeth.
Yeah.
It's pretty creepy. I don't know if this is nostrils or allegedly eyes. I really don't know what we're looking at. But it doesn't look normal, right?
Not at all.
So what do you guys think? Is there a tatzelworm or whatever? What do you think? Is this a legend that they caught?
I don't see the cat.
Well, I don't really see a cat-like face either, but I don't know. The interesting thing is somebody else said exactly that. It says, cat, I see what looks like a bowfin snakehead or an unnamed prehistoric fish or amphibian, but cat by no stretch of the imagination except for the smiling invisible Cheshire cat from Alice in Wonderland. And there's that image. So, I don't know. That was a good... George Kirby agreed with you. So, what do you guys think? Looks like 0-0. I agree with Rachel. Maybe paper mache. Yeah. I mean, it does look like... I wouldn't expect that to be a subterranean earth-dwelling thing because look at how rough that shell is. That would be nothing but drag if it's a burrowing thing. Think of like, earthworms and stuff. I mean, when you go against their grain, they got these little hairs and stuff. Mm-hmm. But when you glide with the grain of those hairs, they feel like slimy, wet, gross things.
Yeah, silky smooth.
Silky smooth. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm kind of with you. Joanne says no. The unknown sees an egg roll. It looks more like an egg roll than a living thing to me too. Yeah, I think we're kind of overinflated whoopee cushion. Eric Walker says. Yeah, I don't know. Barbara says that's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. Could it be? Yeah, I guess it could be. I don't know what a tatzelworm's supposed to look like. I don't see a cat in this at all either. It just looks like some weird elongated head thing. It may
like decomposing something.
Right. I don't know what has a mouth like this though. I mean, that looks like definitely not a good mouth. Mm-hmm. And how big is that? I don't know. I don't know what scale we're looking at. I mean,
let's put a banana next to it.
Yeah, give us a dollar bill or something on the ground. Yeah. A scale object of known size, which is Matt Moneymaker's thing with Bigfoot footprints. Like, great, take a picture, but put something down that is a known scale so we can see how big it is. Yeah. And we have no idea. This could be the size of a field mouse for all we know, or it could be the size of a small car. I just don't know what I'm looking at. So there's not much to go by other than this claim and this image. So I'm really not 2 to 6 foot long. Is that what they say, Joanne? Okay. And that could be. I just don't know. If this image, because if this is grass, this has got to be some of the biggest grass in the world. If these are blades of grass, I don't know what I'm looking at here either, though. So it's very peculiar. It's very curious. Now, I will say, though, that I do believe these legends start with some nugget of truth. Is it possible there are things like this out there? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think all of us, without any hesitation, would say, yeah, there's lots going on in this world that we don't understand. It's kind of the precept of my whole show. Is this an example of it, though? I don't know. You be the judge. Again, my scope and reason is never to convince you, but I'm just showing you what's out there.
Yeah.
So that's the tatzelworm apparently capture. I got one more. This one, this is coming. Actually, I don't mean to pick on this person, but he did share it, and it came up, and I got to share it with you guys because what the hell is that? Is about exactly what I was thinking as I looked at this, and I was actually like, what the hell is that supposed to be? And then I read it, and I was like, oh my God. Huh? So here it is. Here's the image in question. from Ethan Oates. Again, I'm not picking on the guy. Maybe he's just trying to start a conversation about weird stuff, and that's fine. I don't know if it's his image or he just decided to share it. Somebody made a meme kind of thing here, but here you go. Giants discovered pulling a cart with rhino head on it. Rhino head looks like wheels. What? And says, warning, these pictures are 100% real. They're from Google Earth of giant creatures on the Solomon Islands. What the hell is that? Well, how did they get giants and a rhino head on a wagon from this?
I have no idea what I'm even looking at.
Now, in my awesome state of curiosity, I'm like, rhino heads, this is from the Solomon Islands. I don't think that's the normal range for rhinos. So I did a search and came up with this little gem. Because Google AI helped me out. I said, are there rhinos on the Solomon Islands? No, there are no rhinoceros, large land mammal on the Solomon Islands. The rhinos mentioned in the context of the Solomon Islands refers to the coconut rhinoceros beetle, a type of beetle that damages coconut palms and other crops. So there's no rhinos on the Solomon Islands, and there is legends upon legends and stories of giants on the Solomon Islands. I will concede that. That's some pretty incredible stories coming out of the Solomon Islands, even into modern time. And so I'm not saying there couldn't be giants on the Solomon Islands. However, I don't think this is them. And I don't think there's a rhinoceros head here either. I wonder if I can blow this one up. Not really. Not really. It's blown up the font, but not the image. So I'm trying to make it somewhat bigger for you guys. I don't know if I can do that though. Oops. Nope, wrong one. Let me close this one. I don't know what I got going on here. How did I get it on there? Oh, that's the tatzelworm. Okay, anyway, I don't think so.
No.
What do you guys think? Is this giants pulling a rhino head in the Solomon Islands, or a close-up of somebody's salad? I don't know what I'm looking at.
I can't tell.
Run search on Google Earth for the image. Yeah, I can't. I mean, I'd have to like digital edit this and remove the image. Hey, my chat opened. Brent Swanser is a great guy. He's amazing. He's an amazing paranormal journalist. I just love his stories and his research. He's got his own podcast now, by the way, folks. So you can check that out. But I don't think this is it. I don't think this is an image of two giants pulling a rhino head.
No, I don't see that.
So, chat poll, what do you guys think? Do you think this is legitimate photographic evidence of giants on the Solomon Islands? Number 1, or hell no, number 0? What do you got? Give it to me straight. I want to know. Chat poll time. And then we'll get to the cryptids for the last little segment of the show that remains. There's all zeros. Rachel, Golden Age, Bogart, nope. Cat Doherty's, nope, not buying that. BJ, nope. Okay, yeah, I think it's going to be absolutely not. Number 0, absolutely, Maggie. John Stevenson's, nope. Big Fat Zero, Sharon Sunshine. Cecil Webb Jr., nope, definitely not. Owl 13's a 0, okay. And Joanna's a 0, yep, I think we all agree. Why is Sheldon here tonight? Oh, Big D's asking. He popped in. Yep, Barbara said, and you are right.
Yeah, I just popped right in.
The unknown says 1. The unknown, I think you're just being contrary now. I think you're just being contrary. But there you go. Some gems from the interwebs. Just wanted to see what you guys thought. What do you think? Well, there we have it. A bunch of bunk, I'm thinking.
Yep.
But there's some good ghost photos. I think that footage from Slapped Ham is genuine. Her reaction is extraordinarily organic. It's the way she's like, and bolts, leaves her kid. I mean, it was so real that she forgot she was even a mother. She forgot she had offspring. Like, no.
Nope.
She was out. She was out. She was gone. That was it. So there you have it. Another fine romp into the worlds of... What the hell is that?
The hell is that?
That's what we're wondering. But now we know. All right, and that'll bring us to our next and final segment of the show. And that is...
Oh, BJ.
PJ, go ahead and read it.
Brent, there's a rare fish in China that has a face like a man and literally called man-faced fish. It drew large crowds recently in a town called Wenan, as they rarely appear.
Wow, can you find me an image or link for that, and I'll put it on What the Hell Is That? I'd love to showcase that. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the next part, the final part of our show. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the... What is it? Something at Demon Head. Remember?
Huh?
What was that band from Scott Pilgrim? Something at Demon
Clash
Head.
at Demon
Clash
Head.
at Demon. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Clash at Demon Head. Sorry. Great movie, Scott Pilgrim. That was a great movie.
That's a great movie.
Classic, would you say, Sheldon?
Very much.
Very much. Okay, well, here we go. We are going to get into some cryptids now. We're going to talk and deal with some cryptid stuff. So let's check it out. First off, and for the rest of the cryptid corner, we're going to be visiting some articles from the incredible Sasquatch Chronicles. These are listener emails and some pretty fantastic stuff. So let's get to them now. We're going to start out with the August 6th. Strange prints found on property. A listener writes, "This is the footprint. At the time, I thought it was a complete joke because we have almost 6 acres. Our neighbors have 10 and more. And behind us, there's 900-acre hunting preserve. I love walking in these woods and tracking animals and taking pictures of prints. I literally have hundreds. The area where I took this print was attached to an old logging road that comes down to our property and goes up to the top of a small mountain on the hunting preserve. Well, that area of the preserve borders our land and our neighbor's land. At the top of that small mountain, they cleared the top to plant crops and draw in game, and that's where I found the print. They knew I had game cams set up and looked for animal prints, and I got excited when I saw it at first, but then I thought maybe it was a bear. And when I realized it wasn't, I thought they were just trying to hoax me. I was listening to your show at this point in time. I thought that they had cut out the toes, and I almost wondered if they were watching me on game camera. I could kick myself for not taking a picture of the other print that was in the mud. It was smudged, but it was definitely a human-looking foot, not a bare foot. I took a picture of it anyway and put my water bottle up for scale. I didn't know that much back then and wasn't even thinking juvenile or the possibility of a juvenile. I thought maybe it was one of the guys that owned the property on the hunting preserve. However, the more I learned, the more I connected the other experiences that happened close to that time. The more I thought this might actually be something, I played with the contrast lighting on the picture because the time of day was getting close to sunset and I just couldn't capture the detail that I was seeing in real life. You can't tell, but the big toe is very pronounced, and that's something I remember because my husband has the most giant big toe. The left side of the print near where the pinky toe would be was pressed all the way into the ground where you couldn't make out the print anymore because it stepped onto a piece of that wood stuff. I don't know what it's called, but you can see it in the picture, and it just disintegrated into the ground. I thought of the possibility of it being a bear, but the shape doesn't make sense because I have many, many bear prints that I've captured, and the heel was extremely pronounced in person, and there was even a rise in the middle that looked like the mid-tarsal Well, people say brake, but it's actually hinge. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but I'd be okay with that. But I still wanted to run it by you. The other things that happen I can tell in more detail, but just for some examples. Either that night or the night before, I had a game cam footage of some of the landowners on the hunting preserve at like 1 to 2 a.m. slowly going up the road with these giant spotlights. All of the years I've had game cams there, I've never seen them at night. They never hunted that close to our house. I remember they had a couple of guns mounted on the front of their vehicle, but that could have been a typical, I don't know. That could have been typical, I don't know. However, them being there at night with spotlights was not. I also had the one and only extremely terrifying experiences where I thought the creature could have been in front of me when I'd come back from a night walk. I've had things thrown at me, like a small acorn or rock, and what's crazy is the rock wasn't what caught my attention. It was that overwhelming feeling of dread that was primal, and I've never experienced that before or since. There have been also random vocalizations that didn't make sense. I did have another incident that was much more recent, but I'm not sure if that was Sasquatch related or not. Anyway, I apologize for the length and lack of organization as I voice texted this entire email. Well, there's the image of the foot. Yeah, that's very wide. That is very wide.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Wow.
This looks like the sole of a foot though. Here, like a sole of a shoe. What is this? Is there another?
Feed Linny.
What does that say? What the hell is Feed Linny? Fedelini. Anybody want to look that up? Feed Linny? I just wonder, what is this? This is what's really peculiar. This looks like, I don't know. Looks like the tread of a boot.
It's a pasta that's shaped like spaghetti.
A pasta that's shaped like spaghetti. Well, that's kind of interesting. I don't know. That's interesting correlation or whatever, but there you go. I mean, the it's not a huge print, but is this the wood that they're talking about that just kind of disintegrate when it got stepped on?
I think so, yeah.
I guess maybe it is. Maybe it's just really rotten or something, but I will say that generally speaking on Sasquatch prints, and I'm speaking very generally because I'm no expert, but I've looked into the Sasquatch prints quite a bit. And generally speaking, you don't have this big indent from the heel to the rest of the foot, but that could be a semi-cave-in from the strata because the foot obviously went very deep. I mean, it's very soft, or maybe there was some gap underneath that the foot just went down, and then this could just be some of what caved in after it pulled its foot back out. So you can't discount that either. That's very interesting.
Very interesting.
It says, what is the depth of this print? It looks quite deep. Is there a mid-tarsal hump? Is there a mid-tarsal hump that will sometimes give it away from my perspective? It does look like a ridge there, but this could just be lighting. Nice find. Yeah, I mean, it does look like it's higher in the middle here where you'd expect the push-off to be for the mid-tarsal hinge. Like the heel would have come up first, and this part of the foot would have remained and pushed this up higher. And that's pretty telltale sign of what people expect for a mid-tarsal hinged foot, which makes sense for the size and weight of a Sasquatch, that it would need a mid-tarsal hinge rather than a hinge at the ball of the foot like we have. So, I don't know. It's interesting.
I mean, look at, the thing that's interesting to me is look where the toes. It almost looks like the nails are like, sharp.
Right.
I don't know if you're seeing that too.
Yeah, I was looking at that. Those seems like, but again, that could just be cave-in stuff where the material broke off and fell in once the foot come out. So we just don't know.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, it takes spectacularly not rigid strata, but very fine strata to leave a real detailed print. In stuff like this, and by strata I mean the material that they're walking on to leave a print. This is very particulate. There's rocks, there's debris. And so that's going to break up the detail that you might see on like if they're walking in a powdery sand kind of material or, a very fine mud, then you would have a very pristine print in a lot of cases. So, I mean, this is not not the best kind of strata to find a print in because of this. And by the depth of it, it looks almost uncastable. Like, I wish they would have LiDAR scanned it or something. That would have been cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The LiDAR scanning, I think, is the next evolution of Sasquatch prints, because then you can just send a digital scan to anybody around the world in real time, like to a Jeff Meldrum or Cliff Barrickman or somebody. People that deal with prints, and they can look at it and give you some real-time feedback. But not that Jeff Meldrum or Cliff Barrickman are accessibly accessible. They might not see it for weeks. You never know. But that's a cool experience. And with the other experiences, I mean, it doesn't surprise me on a game preserve that there would be Bigfoot around. I oftentimes think that when we're hunting, it's like ringing the dinner bell. They know they can traverse the wild and the terrain much better than we can. So we can take a deer down and they can find it and have it removed before we even get to the body.
Wait, didn't my uncle kind of have a story about that? A peculiar instance?
I'm the one that drew the conclusion that it might be Sasquatch, but he didn't make that conclusion. But
he
after
had a story about that, though. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he had been hunting deer and he got this huge, like I guess a 12-point buck, and he got it good. He got it really good, and it was a really profound blood trail. And he's like, "Well, I'll follow it. It'll be right up here because it didn't get far." And he followed it into this thick, scrubby stuff and got into there, and then the blood trail just stopped. There was no gut pile, nothing. There was no like point where it looked like people came in or went out. It was just gone. And, if a hunter found it, like a big buck like that, they would field dress it. They would clean, open it up and clean out all the stuff they don't want, because that's like, several pounds of weight they don't need to lug out. If it's just wasteful and nature will eat it up anyway. So, yeah, it just was gone. The blood trail just ended and there was nothing. So...
Yeah.
And I was the one that went, "Hey, that sounds kind of familiar. We've heard that kind of stuff here on the show." So I think he might have had a deer taken, but it's not conclusive. He didn't see any signs or hear anything. It was just gone. So very peculiar.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go to the next one. Very cool story from August 5th. This one has to do with tigers, but it's an interesting story. Let's check it out. Tigers hold grudges. Tigers don't just hunt, they hold grudges, and some have actually tracked down people who wronged them. This is not a drill. Tigers have memories so sharp, they've been known to hunt humans for revenge. We're not talking random attacks, we're talking calculated, personal, I know what you did kind of energy. There are documented cases where tigers tracked hunters for days and even weeks after being injured or having a cub killed. They remember faces. They remember smells. They remember exactly where it happened, and when the time is right, they strike back. Oh, that's terrifying. Jeez. One of the most famous cases, a tiger in India reportedly stalked a poacher for over a week, traveled miles through rough terrain, and ambushed him at night outside of his home. How did it know where to go? Well, nobody knows, but it did. Scientists have compared tiger memory and intelligence to that of primates. These big cats are not just muscle and teeth. They are smart, strategic, emotional. Tigers also have strong territorial instincts, and if you cross into their domain and cause harm, you're basically writing your name in their mental notebook. And that's not just humans. Tigers have been seen taking revenge on other animals that threaten or injure them. One tiger even waited near a water hole to ambush a rival days after a fight. They don't forget. And they don't forgive. They file it away like nature's very own hit list. So yeah, the next time someone says tiger brain, like it's an insult, maybe rethink that. These apex predators are operating on a level most people would not survive. Final thought. You might ghost your ex, but a tiger will ghost you for a week and then show up with the motive. Yeah.
That's actually terrifying. Wow, I actually didn't know that.
Water buffaloes are the same way, though. There was a big game hunter, a millionaire, went down to hunt water buffalo for trophy, just for trophy. Wow. And the water buffalo, he must have hit it, wounded it, but it hunted him and ended up goring him to death. Yeah, water buffaloes will do the very same thing. So it's not atypical. It's not just tigers. I think animals are actually much more aware emotionally than we think. And they really do hold a grudge. And so that's pretty bizarre.
I mean, I know elephants do, because we read about that one story.
Which one was that?
Trampled it smushed someone, and then went to their funeral and wrecked that too.
Oh, that's right. It went to the funeral and then mobbed the funeral. Like, yes. No, you will not be put to rest. I'm going to dance on your corpse. Yeah, that's creepy. Yep. Wolverines will hunt you to the ends of the earth, Elaine says. Yeah,
jeez, it's really common.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not atypical for just tigers. I think there's many examples of this in the animal kingdom. I was just thinking of alligators. I wonder if they hold grudges. Maybe
they holds grudges. My lord.
Yeah, I mean, well, but I think that's a great statement though, because oftentimes we relegate animals to these automatons. They just perform a function, but clearly there's a lot more going on with them, and to the point of calculating and to problem solving and wanting revenge. So I guess that makes them more human than we give them credit for.
Oh, much more so. Yeah.
Yeah. Very creepy, weird stuff. Well, there you go. Couple of Bigfoot stories and a tiger story. And that's kind of the journey for tonight. Did you enjoy it, Sheldon?
Thoroughly did.
Thoroughly enjoyed. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. I hope you guys had a good time. Thank you all for joining us. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for making the portal part of your world. Thank you for making me part of your world. I appreciate it. Sheldon, anything in closing?
Absolutely, guys. Don't forget paranormalportal.net, where you can always stay up to date on Paranormal Portal news whenever Dad's going live or new podcast episode is released, as well as your very own chance at an interview if you have an amazing experience to share right on the website. Also, don't forget discord.gg/paranormalportal, the home base of the Paranormal Portal, where all the amazing discussions are happening each and every day. And also, the question of the week for this Saturday, I don't know if it's up right now. I haven't checked, actually. Let's see. It is up.
Of course, Chucky's got that up.
It is up. So there's still time to get your answers on there, get your opinions out there, get your thoughts out there for it to be read this Saturday.
Absolutely. So I'll be back on Friday night. We'll do another regular show. So I hope you guys will join us then. Are you going to join me, Sheldon, then?
Yeah.
Okay. Sheldon will be back. Getting a twofer this week from Sheldon Thomas. So that works out good. Excellent, folks. So that's going to wrap it up here. And we'll be back on Friday. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great Thursday and the rest of your slide to the weekend. And I'll meet you here on Friday night and we'll start all over again.
That's right.
That's going to do it for us, folks. So have a great night. Remember, we love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other and help each other out. Find the magic in every day and remember to laugh as much as you can. And be sure to let people know about the portal. We're going to keep this growing so we can get out and do more and more and more investigating. And bring you guys a lot more content than I currently can right now. So that's going to wrap it up. Good night. Love you, mean it. We'll see you next time, guys.
Love, love, love.
Love, 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 love.